Have you had the birds and the bees conversation with your child?
It's interesting. I was driving him to school and he calls me Lele. I was like, Lele? I was like, yes. I was like, so where did I come from? And I was like,
He's 5.
Yeah, I was like, Jesus? He's like, no. Where do I come from? And I try to explain that no, when two people love each other, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, he kept on asking questions where I have to become very graphic. But no, but how did this happen? So I texted my husband quickly that my son's name's Uzi. Uzi wants to know about the birds and the bees. I sent him a link of a YouTube video, and the text was, you talk, I nod. Because I was like, I cannot deal with this. But you know,
5, wow.
You know, yeah, and it's very strange because now we had to sit him down and explain that, listen, when two people love each other, etc., etc. But kids are so smart today. He was like, no, but Zmangmang and Zmangmang's father aren't married, so
that
why?
I was exactly going to say that.
How did Zmangmang happen? And like,
or so and so has 2 dads.
Yeah,
or 2 moms.
Yeah, he's got friends with 2 dads and 2 moms, and I'm like, so we now we have to explain the 2 dads, 2 moms situation. But he gets the whole tummy thing. He gets the whole mom and dad, and yeah, he just doesn't understand the love part. He's like, but do you really have to love each other?
And the truth is you don't.
Apparently not.
Because the thing is, you don't want to lie to your child. And you're like,
no, but I mean, that's a conversation for another time.
Yeah, I'm like, no, for now, yes. For now, love is
when
good.
When 2 people love each other.
Yes, when 2 people love each other and they get married.
And you have to say when 2 people love each other, because now the technical card is you say 2 dads, 2 moms. Because before, I think 20 years, no, maybe more, you just say when a man and a woman loves each other.
That's what my mother told me, when a mommy and a daddy love each other.
Yeah, and then he was like, but I don't like girls.
Oh, shame.
And I'm like, but don't worry, you know,
until 13, 14. Well, sure,
and I'm like, you're so fascinated with boobs and butts. You'll be alright. You'll be alright. You know, but yeah, we've had the birds and the bees talk, but it's just scary how it has to happen at such a young age now. It's yeah.
Now, this makes a good segue to the religion part of this conversation. Speaking of 2 mommies and 2 daddies, here we've got a Reuters report saying LGBT Catholic groups get the VIP treatment at the Vatican. And basically what happened was American Catholic gay rights group got a tour of the Vatican and got an audience with Pope Francis. Now, of course, this would have been absolutely unheard of a couple of years ago at the Vatican.
I have a problem with this.
Check.
All right.
I have a problem with this because whatever your sexual orientation, whether it's a choice, whether you're born with it, the biggest problem I have is that if you see yourself as different, you other yourself. You know, I don't have a problem with gay and lesbian and transsexual priests and religious figures, but I have the problem with othering them. Why were they treated as VIPs?
I guess the thought is that because there's been so much repression by the Catholic Church for this group of people, there needs to be amends. The Catholic Church needs to say, look, I'm sorry that I treated you so badly.
That's great, but the problem is, again, why other them? You know, why can't you just, you know, release a public apology or international apology and say, listen, this is our stance. Everything evolves, even religion.
I think that is what the world has been waiting for, and that's why it is such a big deal. You know,
I just have a problem with the VIP treatment. They are all Catholics.
Look, I think they made application as a group of LGBT and other. They made application to the Vatican officially to be invited, and they were. And what is quite actually interesting is the press release says. They were not identified as an LGBT group, may I just say. They were identified as a lay group, blah, 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 and a female minister. They were not identified as an LGBT or a gay group. They were, and then I said, maybe that was a typo. A lay group, and the Vatican just scratched that out. It was so, and I read like, oh, really? And truly, the press release says they were invited as a lay group led by a female minister. And when you say, if you get an audience with the Pope, let me just remind you, an audience with the Pope can be in a group of 20,000 people. And you're sitting at the back, 20 of you in the back, you get your audience with the Pope. It is not like we had a one-on-one like this. So there is, you know, I think that's very symbolic, but on a larger scale of 1.5 billion Muslims, oops, did I just say Muslims?
Yes.
Catholic.
What do you call that? That's one of those things that slips out.
A Freudian slip, maybe?
Yes, that's exactly, because it's religion, it's theirs. They both are linked, and it's both 1.5 billion people. So you've got 1.5 billion Catholics, and I think this is not even going to cause a ripple effect across the nation. Once people start addressing, and the Catholic Church starts apologizing for bigger things, the sexual scandals or whatever, they've already paid out millions and billions of dollars, but they haven't admitted it. Why would you pay out something in monetary funds to...
I think we call that a bribe.
Yeah, settling
or
out
guilt
of court.
money.
Whenever I read something that settles out of court, it really gets my goat. You know, Bill Cosby, one of his cases way back in the day with all of this stuff happening with Bill Cosby, it's finally on the table, people are talking about it. But you know how many cases of his was settled out of court? Now, why would you settle out of court? Number one, either not to go through the whole motion. Yes, of course, let's just wrap this thing up. Or let's not bring it to, light at all and settle out of court.
I think that it's about time, but I'm of the school of thought that things that are natural shouldn't make news. Being gay, being lesbian, it's who you are. So what tomorrow's like, hey, I'm black. It's the same thing to me.
But
this is my personal opinion.
But we're still so far from that. That's the whole idea. We're not there yet, and we still need to identify groups as separate and ask
the trick,
for
in my
inclusion.
opinion, is to normalize such things. And I think that, yes, with the Vatican and the Pope acknowledging, now that was
He's a cool guy, so cool.
That was the Christmas tree, but now everything must start happening. They must start actually changing their parties. They must start actually engaging with people on these certain topics. They must start engaging with, leaders within the Vatican. They should start, mandating the church to do certain things. So this was just a PR stunt. This was just a PR exercise, but now we have to see whether it's going to be consistent, it's going to get, value, and it's actually going to be implemented in order for these groups to be fully accepted and not abused in certain ways within the church. So it was a PR. I have a problem with it's strange because I have a communications agency, but I have a problem with certain PR exercises, and I have a problem with this one because what happens afterwards? When the cameras are not there, when the journalists are not there, when someone's not writing a press release, what happens?
But that's in the case of most things. People like us, we see those things and we ask those kind of probing questions, and you go, oh, that's very interesting, check this. What do you think is going to happen? 3 months down the line, you investigate, you look at that. Nothing has happened. All it was is to get the story on the front page, and that was it. It was just in order to
get perception management exercise. I would just... I'll wait this. My full opinion will only happen in a year's time when there's certain topics or certain engagements which are related, which makes sense. Now, to me, that's why I read through it and I was like, PR exercise, and I just moved on.
So let's talk a little bit about Pope Francis then. He has been called many things, Pope Frank, as he's more commonly known. And there's a quote from the sitcom The Mindy Project where this very devout Catholic is saying, things are changing, Pope Frank is on the job. Do you think Pope Frank is changing the
I think so. The man
facade of the Catholic Church?
I think he's a religious pimp. I love him so much.
Really? No, he's great.
I just think he's like a religious pimp. He gets to it. He gets you.
He's doing for religion and
like
Catholicism.
His Pope-mobile should have spinning rims. That's how cool I think he is. His Pope-mobile should have spinners, and he's just... And I think it's also, he's approachable, and he has a more humane... No, most Popes, in my opinion, were like so old, firstly. And then secondly, they elevated themselves to godlike figures.
But what it is, he's speaking again the language of the people.
That's what I'm saying. He's the most humane Pope I've ever experienced in my life. That's what I'm saying. He should have, like, the Pope-mobile should have spinners.
Mags.
Exactly. Mags.
But I mean, he's doing for Catholicism that the whole Kate Middleton and the husband?
William.
See? Yeah. She's like more important than him, you forget his name. But they're reviving the whole, falling in love with royalty again and stuff like that. They're just revolutionizing. No, I mean, you look at the way it's become on the front pages, how it's become populism again. So that's exactly what the Pope is doing to Catholicism. It's popularizing it again. It's putting, people more into the Vatican Square, etc. People are following. The Pope is tweeting. He sent out his first tweet a month or 2 months ago.
A month ago.
I mean,
you see, that's how he got pimp status from me.
Yeah.
I'm like, the Pope tweet? Yeah, I was like, yes.
It's awesome.